We are live. Sorry about that. I'm doing a million things at once, so.
No problem. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, we're live now.
Okay. Let me open up the page
Hi, Brandon.
and get it maximized. Excelente. We're here. Hey, Brendan, how are you? And wow, we're racking it up to 17 viewers so far.
Yay.
Hey guys, welcome to the virtual Cantina. It's Thursday night, and we're here for Chapter 7, and our special guest is Miss Misty Rosas, who is a performance artist for Quill. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Of course. I'm really
super
happy
excited about this.
Yes. And we already have someone
your
saying,
episode too. This is the main episode, so that's awesome. I'm really excited about that. We really got lucky on that.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, I hope they get approval. So
yes, and when everything lined up as the Force wills it, it turned out that this is, I think, the perfect episode to have you on for.
Yeah. This one's a special one. So.
And a lot of our members so far are saying that you rocked in this episode, and thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for being here with us.
So I guess the first question is that how did you start out as a performance artist?
My first job was Congo, and I just happened to be the right height and the right body structure and strength, and they had done a nationwide search for that job as Amy the gorilla, and I don't know, it feels a little bit like fate and luck, because I was trained by some of the best performance artists, actors around, and from there it's just kind of from one project to the next, I gain more skills by either other performance artists or artists in a different type of genre, like with the Jim Henson Company. So Congo was my first one, and it was just get thrown in the deep end there in a really big film and learn how to move like a gorilla, learn how to work and handle and be in a blind animatronic head. So it was a lot.
Yeah. And the jobs just trickled from there, would you say?
Yes. From that job, I met a lot of stunt people because I did all of the stunt work for Amy, all of the hardcore. I mean, it's in my new demo reels, just all of that really physical.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, by the way.
So, thank you. And so from Congo, I did a little bit of stunt work in films here and there. And then the crew that we had on Congo, the film Instinct came up. And unfortunately, it went from a group of 12 to a group of, I believe, 7. And so I just was fortunate to be part of that group. And then we did that film with Anthony Hopkins and Cuba Gooding Jr. and Donald Sutherland as, a guerrilla troupe again with Winston Studios. So yeah, onward and onward.
That's fantastic. And really, really loved hearing your stories on Gallery. They're absolutely fantastic. And we'll get into that as we will go down with the episode. But were you a Star Wars fan growing up?
Yes, I was a little bit young for the first 2, but I remember because I have an older brother and an older sister and my dad, and where we grew up, we were in the mountains up above Lake Elsinore, so there's like hardly any radio signal or TV signal. So the big thing was to travel the 24 miles down the hill to go to the drive-in movie. And, we were just little kids, little babies actually. And so I'd fall asleep most of the time, but I remember, because my sister and my older brother and my dad, I was there for Star Wars, and I remember the music and just the feeling of it being larger than life. For me, the one that really got me first was Return of the Jedi. So, yeah, I haven't been a fan since I was like 2 years old.
So I guess that goes into my next question, which was your favorite movie, and you just said Jedi, which is John's favorite movie as well. What would you say is your favorite character? It doesn't have to be of Return of the Jedi; it could be of the entire saga.
That's Yoda. I love Yoda. So there's something about, again, watching certain shows with my dad. I was always kind of fascinated with puppets and the Muppets, and I don't know, there was just something about, like, because I understood that he wasn't necessarily real, but he seemed so real, and I was just like, how do they do that? And I was just mesmerized by him. So of course, when I saw Baby Yoda, I just lost my mind. Just like, oh. It was so hard to keep that secret for so long. It's like, hurry up! I can't wait for people to see him. He's so cute.
One of the stories that Kathleen Kennedy told at Celebration last year was that the fans had no idea what was coming their way. And that was obviously at the time before the child was even brought up. What was your impressions the first time that you saw the child?
Just like instant falling in love. He's just so cute, and it's a little baby Yoda, and I was already, Yoda is my favorite character, so I was just oh my gosh. So, getting to work with him, and the legacy team that was working with me was also, some of them were bouncing back and forth with Baby Yoda too, and it was just really special. It was like a big parade, especially the scene in Chapter 7 when Mando and Cara Dune and why am I blanking? Grief are walking away, and Quill and the baby are going the other direction.
Sure.
When we shot that, it was like a big parade, because Baby Yoda had so many puppeteers on his team, and I had my puppeteers, and we're on a dolly track, a really long one. And they're like, okay, is everybody ready? We're like, ready. And it's like 3, 2, 1. And it's like the dolly started moving, and then the parade went. So it was pretty amazing. So,
that's awesome. We have a question from our member Hunter, and he wanted to know, is the baby fully animatronic, or is there different styles for each scene?
First of all, hi Hunter. He's both. His face is fully animatronics, and Michael Menzel, he has rods that control his arms. So, and then depending on the scene too, if he's walking, then there are other puppeteers behind him, probably Trevor and Jason, all of that team that are, in gray suits usually, and, moving him physically, and then they obviously erase that part out.
Sure, of course.
So I hope I answered that question.
No, it's absolutely fantastic. And
so we had another question. We had another question from one of our fans, one of your fans. What is your favorite episode of Mandalorian and why?
Oh, that's a hard one. I would say all of them. Probably this episode, as heart-wrenching as it is, and as much as my heart was dreading it, knowing that a lot of my friends and their kids are watching, and I know, just children are so innocent and beautiful, and I was like, this is gonna crush them. So
yeah.
Sure enough, like getting all of these messages from friends, like my kid won't stop crying. He's like, I'm sorry, please don't me. But yeah, it's just, it's so action packed, and it gives Quill's backstory, and it's really emotional, and a necessary storyline. It just was necessary. When we went to shoot his Quill's final scene. I was standing on the volume getting ready, and Deb walked up to me and she's just like, well, here we are. Nobody wants this. There's been, a lot of talk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Are you sure, this is what we're doing? And, it just, for Mando's arc, you have to lose something so important to you in order to shift and in order for things to really matter. And for his arc, it was just really important. So as heartbreaking as it is, and even when I was reading my scripts for the first time, I mean, I was hooked. I was a fan, reading things like, this show is amazing. And then I got to that part and I just put my scripts down, like crying as a fan. Going, no. And then also too, is just like, I just got to Star Wars. I want to stay for a while. So
going with that, actually, my next question was, what was it like for you being a lifelong fan when you finally got the call that you were going to be in the first live action Star Wars show?
Oh man. I was driving to go train, and my agent had just received my deal memo, and she had called and she's like, where are you? And it's like, I'm driving. She's like, you might want to pull over because I'm going to email you something. It's like, okay. And so I pulled over and she's like, just open it as soon as you can. And I opened it. And it's like, it's just one of those moments I was by myself in my car, just like instant tears of joy. And like, because when I auditioned, I didn't know what I was auditioning for.
Oh, wow.
And I was just beyond overwhelmed. And so I was like, called my mom instantly too, and was like, guess what? I'm doing Star Wars, but you can't say anything.
Was that the first inclination you had of any that was going to be Star Wars? So when you went for audition, you didn't know what it was?
Nope.
So you got the email, you're like, oh, hi, I went for Star Wars. Wow.
No. I just went in for a cold reading, and I knew it was kind of, it had to be something big because it's in the waiting room, and it's a cold read. So I didn't know anything about anything until I got there and signed the NDA, and then they handed me the script. And the script as well was very kind of, from that script to what it actually was, there was a lot of stuff like scribbled out. Just in case I knew more than they, thought I might know.
Sure. Well, we're brought on with Frank Rich, who is the owner and operator of
Frank.
Star Wars Autograph News as well.
Yay. Nice to meet you, Frank.
Nice to meet you. We on my Facebook page the other day when I put the post up about the clear mask for sign language interpreters.
So which one?
I had posted about the clear masks for sign language interpreters.
Oh, cool.
We had talked about it a little bit. You had come.
So going along the lines with what you were talking about, we have a question from our fan, Jason. Did you say the lines or have any help with the development of the character before they did the overdub with Nick?
No, it's just, especially in my reading, it's like the scene that they gave me and stuff, it really felt like you either understood the depth of this character or you didn't. Because I did have to say, I have spoken, and that can go really wrong in a lot of ways, depending on how you read it. So, but no, I understood him, and it's crazy because I understand him from all of my struggles in life, from my music journey that was going on all during this time too. Because like in 2018, in the beginning of it, it's just like I had beyond nothing. It's like, okay, I've got to get like 3 jobs and just keep hustling. And I teach yoga and stuff like that. So it's like, I know Quill from being a yoga teacher and from the tremendous, tremendous struggle of going after your dreams, even though you don't necessarily know if it's ever going to work out for you.
Sure.
It was really special to get this role because I, understood what it's like to just have nothing and just have to work your way back. So work really hard too.
Awesome. We have another question from our member Ashley. What was the hardest part of the Quill costume?
Hi, Ashley. It was kind of a combination of a lot of things because those are my eyes with contacts. And my team really did not want to have to glue me in because I would have to be in forever. So they would have to tighten my skull cap super, super tight, especially for my close-ups, so that everything was really seamless around my eyes. Because the face is made of silicone, the moment his mouth shuts, there's no air for me. So, you know, I would start to get really hot in there really quick. And he was heavy. You know, my backpack that I wore, that was from head to toe full of the animatronics that make him come alive. And then the two little pockets on either side, those were two very large batteries. So he was a lot of weight to carry. So
Now, the last time any Star Wars fans had seen an Ugnaught was in Empire Strikes Back. What sort of, I guess, background were you given to try to make it different from what the perception of the Ugnaught was back in Empire?
I got to work with Dave Filoni first. My first rehearsals and stuff were with Dave, and it was just like, you know, because, you know, Quill's an Ugnaught and it's, you know, a character that's not really established. It's like, help, you know, what, is there anything specific that you need me to do or not do? And he's like, no, take the reins and, you know, just feel your way through it with your dialogue and, you know, what you know how to do as a performance artist. No, they allowed me a lot of freedom to just make my choices. And, you know, I mean, Jon Favreau's an amazing writer, and it's just, and then having his writing and Nick Nolte's delivery of the lines, it just, I came in and did my part of that. So there wasn't really a lot for me to add to that. It was there. So it's just kind of emoting it from the inside out. So.
Did you know that Nick was coming in to do the voice?
No, I had no idea at first. And then I think after my first screen test, they just really liked how he was coming together. And I think they made a decision at that point to, you know, get who they wanted to get. And that also helped me because the person that they had used to read at the beginning, it was really hard for me to understand. Yeah, before shooting, Nick Nolte was already on board, and I was like, oh, no pressure or anything, and just like, don't screw up this, please. So yeah, and just I worked really hard, and a lot of people are like, well, did you know your lines? It's like, oh yeah, because I needed to know them for myself so that when I was in everything and, you know, you're blocking and there's all kinds of other things that are going on too, for me, that had to be secondary.
Sure.
Yeah, like, I mean, in the gallery set, I tried to give my guys physical cues, but that wasn't always appropriate in all of the moments. So trying to help my puppeteering team understand like my flow or when I would want a line, you know, for them to trigger the line and stuff. That took a lot of time and coordination with us. Like, but we were such a good team, and everybody was so enthusiastic and excited to be there too, that every day it's just after our, you know, private rehearsals in the morning, we'd like run together at the big puppeteering rig and just have a chat about it. They would listen to the dialogue, I would listen to it, and, you know, choose the lines that we wanted and just go for it. Sometimes it'd be a big mess at first. The first few takes were always a little bit messy sometimes, but we would get our flow, and it would all finally kind of come together.
We had a follow-up question, actually. What was Dave Filoni like working with, and what stories can you tell us about his knowledge of the universe and the story?
Dave Filoni is the most fun and relaxed person ever. I mean, our first day of shooting, we were, outside, and he had never done that before. And I know he talked about that too in the gallery, where it's like, the DPs are like, we gotta go, we're chasing the sun. And he's like, what's that mean? It's like, the sun, we're outside. Just fun. He's nice, and, just so relaxed and so chill, I guess is the best word, that like I had an ease of working with him and trying different things. He's really humble. Like, he didn't really lead us on too much about how much he knows. I learned more about that by watching all of the gallery series, and I was really impressed and inspired by that. So yeah, he's amazing, really sweet. So, I mean, he made me this. It was like kind of a joke.
Oh, wow.
I saw that he did a doodle of IG-11. And so during shooting, he's like, how are you? What can I do for you? He's like, I just want a Dave Filoni doodle of Quill. And every day, like, I would see him, I would just ask that. And finally one day he came and he's like, here's like, oh my gosh. It's like, that is not a pencil doodle. That is way more than a doodle. So, but that's, again, how kind and incredible Dave Filoni is. So, yeah.
Incredible.
How has your life changed since becoming part of the Star Wars universe?
Just everything. It's been so, I can't even describe it. I mean, the relationship I have now with Star Wars fans and everyone, all of the fans are so nice and, incredibly welcoming, and just, it's changed everything. I mean, for the first time in a very long time, like, I feel like after I got my deal memo, the first thing was like, I felt like I could relax a little bit of, like, not having to worry about paying rent and making my rent and doing that, and just the hustle that was going on for a while. It was just like I could take a deep breath, but then it was just like, okay, now I have a big job to do, so let's work really hard again and try to do the very best we can and give Quill everything. So
I'm a big toy collector, so I have to ask this question. What was it like for you the first time you saw the Quill action figure or Funko Pop?
I don't know, like, I'm such a girl. It's like, it's cute. He's so cute. So, it doesn't feel real. I mean, even signing him for people and stuff, it just, it feels sometimes like it's not real to me yet. Like, it doesn't sink in sometimes, even when walking on sets. Like, I can't believe that I'm here. So, and just, really grateful and stuff. And yeah, he's super cute. Where is he? Oh, he's over here. Yeah, him.
Yes, I have one of those myself.
Me too.
And
Misty, you just said you're such a girl. What advice, or what words of wisdom or encouragement would you give to any young ladies that are listening tonight? Young girls who are kind of still thinking about what they might want to do with their lives. Do you have, because you've talked about your struggle and how hard things can be, what advice would you give to younger women, young girls that are kind of maybe going through the same thing?
Yeah, my advice would be to listen to your heart. And all of you really young people, boys and girls, young men, young women, and I swear it doesn't matter what age you are, this is your life all the way to the end. Just live your passion. I think I really started having much more fun in life when I wasn't trying to play by any rules. I'm 4'9". The short dancer height for Los Angeles is 5'4". But I just trained as a dancer for me. And then I ended up getting with a dance troupe that didn't care about your height. They cared about how well you danced. As a singer-songwriter, I was born with hearing loss, but I don't care, and I just train really hard. Let's see, find what it is that you really love and work at it and work hard at it and trust that it'll take a while. And I don't want to discourage anybody from going after dreams, but don't compare yourself and don't, feel bad if in this town, in this work, you're going to get rejection all the time. I mean, it's 99% of your life. And then it can really tear you apart mentally and emotionally. Well, maybe I just don't have it, but still listen to your heart, trust your heart, and train. Train as an actor, as a dancer, if you're a gymnast or a soccer player, or you do karate, whatever it is you do, keep doing those things. You just never know what someone in this industry might need. And just as long as you love it, you have to love it, and you have to want to do it when nobody's watching. So that's my advice.
Fantastic. So what do you say we get started with chapter 7? Does that work?
Okay.
Excelente. So we're going to start with the 10-second countdown. As always, we start with the Disney logo, go through the recap and the intro, and go into the episode. So I'm very, very excited about that. Once again, we are on live with Misty Rosas tonight. So thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to talk with you guys. So
excellent.
Thank you.
So here comes the 10 seconds. We're going to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play.
Isn't that your code?
Cool. So we also got to have a
Man of honor.
Yeah, we got to keep the volume down quite a bit, if that's
or else
okay.
Facebook will get us in trouble.
Hey, I do that. Aw.
I'm a guild member. I have a suggestion. We split the reward.
Baby.
I could use a crew member of your abilities and honor. I have worked a lifetime to finally be free and servant. All I can offer is my thanks. And I offer mine. Thank you for bringing peace to my valley.
Some of us were actually cleaning up after Endor. Mostly ex-Imperial warlords.
Such a large bounty, such a small package. Any idea what they're going to do with it? Your mask. It's against the guild code.
Oh, that scene broke my heart.
We keep on coming back to it, but I love this new entrance with all the different helmets and the droids and all that.
Looks fucking cool.
I love the Razor Crest.
Yeah, it's an amazing ship.
It's old school.
My friend, if you're receiving this transmission, that means you are alive. You might be surprised to hear this, but I am alive too. I guess we can call it even. A lot has happened since we last saw each other. The man who hired you is still here, and his ranks of ex-Imperial guards have grown. They have imposed despotic rule over my city, which has impeded the livelihood of the guild. We consider him an enemy, but we cannot get close enough to take him out. If you would consider one last commission, I will very much make it worth your while.
So, Misty, we have a question from our member, Matt. Who's your favorite character outside of Quill?
They have the prize.
On which one?
So here is my proposition.
Who's your favorite character outside of yours?
Bring the child as bait. I will arrange an exchange and provide loyal guild members.
In The Mandalorian, or
Yes,
The
Mandalorian.
all of them. That was so hard to choose. I love Mando. I love Cara Dune. Grief Karga is like, he's a little shady at times, but he's really cool. But Baby Yoda, come on. So cute. Yay.
Do you have an idea how many episodes you're going to be in when they said they were hiring you? You got the part?
Hold on 1 second. Something just happened. I lost. There you go. Say again.
Do you have any idea how many episodes you're going to be in when they told you got the part?
I can't remember. I'd have to look at my deal memo. All I saw was Star Wars at the end, and that's all that mattered.
Yep.
One of the things I love about Mandalorian in general is that for original trilogy fans, this is the first real information besides Timothy Zahn's books that we physically got to see after Return of the Jedi. So it had a huge impact on the original trilogy fans. So thank you very much for being part of bridging that gap and getting to visualize what's next.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm just grateful to be a part of this. So it's just really cool. Yeah, lady. I love her because look at how strong she is. Like, that's believable.
Yeah,
Well,
super
she
awesome.
kicked some serious ass in MMA too, so that helped, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, she's so nice too. Just such a really kind person.
We have a question from our member John. Which of the directors did you connect the most with, since you worked with all of them?
Hello. I like being the worst interviewee ever. I love them all for different reasons. Dave, because he was my first director on episode 1. We shot the big monologue from episode 1 up above the encampment. That was like the first scene we shot. I love Deb because she's very articulate and really would run back and forth and help you do different things and try different things. And I love Rick because he just kind of let us play, which necessarily wasn't always a good thing because sometimes lines were forgotten and people would start laughing in the middle of the take. And my team, like, they are working off the other characters' dialogue cues as well. So I would just start laughing, like waiting for the last word of the line, and it was just a lot of like, and scene. So.
What was it like working in the volume?
Oh man, it was like you didn't have to use your imagination because you were absolutely there. You were pretty much, oftentimes they would shut the one wall down and it's just 360 degrees of Star Wars, of being in the environment. So yeah, it was really special. It was crazy because it was just like you were there in those places. And so yeah,
it must have been crazy, especially when you're supposedly riding the blurg and seeing the vast landscapes around you. Must have felt like you're actually doing it.
Yeah, well, a few times some of the people, because especially running, in the chase scene and stuff, the volume was moving because I was moving, and a few times people were not ready for that, and like it started moving, and they're like, so, I was on my blurgs, so I was fine, but yeah, there's a few adjustments there. sometimes they'd be like, okay, and the screens are going. They're like,
Was there at any time that it felt like you were on a mechanical bull?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of warmed me up to going that fast. You know, we did like, there were 3 speeds, and you know, after the second speed, they're like, okay, are you ready? And you know, Latif, you know, who was Brawler Mando, Stunt Mando, and Joe and Ryan, they were all around me with the crash pads, and they gave me like the little stunt Yoda baby. So, you know, just in case I would fall or whatever, it wouldn't be Hero baby. And yeah, they were there for me, because once it started going, it's like, oh my God. So yeah, it felt like being on a horse and loping like full speed ahead. It was pretty intense. So
It's awesome. Here you are.
yay!
You were drunk.
Did you serve?
On the other side, I'm afraid. But I'm proud to say that I paid out my clan's debt. And now
How heavy was the costume?
I don't know. I didn't weigh it. I didn't
Okay.
care. I didn't want to know. It was heavy. I mean, obviously, the backpack, which isn't in all scenes, that held like a whole board of, like, it was literally front to back. It was just like the whole thing was animatronics, and again, the batteries were like solid and they were huge. The pockets on each side, so you can see them in this. Those are batteries. So yeah, he was heavy. They didn't show up when we were shooting this scene, just to spare my energy levels. My team would just take me from underneath my armpits and just lift me back up. Thanks, guys.
One of my favorite stories that Dave and John talked about in the final episode of Gallery was how important it was for them to take the extra figures that they had as kids and put them at the forefront, like the Ugnaught, the IG unit, the side characters, and making them more prominent. I thought that was just fascinating.
Yeah, I was grateful too, because I'm itty bitty, so that was crazy to do because they weren't there, so I was just kind of acting by myself, and just like, God, I hope this turns out. And I was really happy with how that moment turned out. We got a lot of laughs. So
Jennifer asked, did you have any control over the mouth, or is that just automatic moving on its own?
No, they, my puppeteering team, they did, I think, some stuff beforehand, and then they added some stuff. And I know that Dave told me that even Skywalker, they had shifted and adjusted it a little bit too. So, but yeah, no, I have no control over face, except for obviously those are my eyes. And everything else moving is my puppeteers. So.
Misty, are you aware, was your puppeteering team all from Legacy? Do you know? From Legacy Effects, were they all
Yeah.
part of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been working with them for a long time on different projects. So it's just like always a family reunion when we come back together, and, So, and thank goodness, because it's just like we had to be really, really fast with what we were doing and getting together. So, I'm really proud of them. They did an amazing job. So.
You think about everything that went into your character. He's such a beloved character. This is it's still so new, but we're gonna look back at this guy and it's so real and so just fits into Star Wars and so wise, and absolutely love this character. But I love the stories that you tell about. So much went into him coming to life, and that's what's so great to hear the stories behind these characters that we love.
Yeah. I mean, when it's all said and done, there's 5 people that fused together to make him. So it is really special.
Gee,
So
enjoy.
everybody's super
Good
proud.
luck for payment.
You know.
You should be. Absolutely. All of you.
Also, being an old school fan, what was it like working with the Jawas?
Yeah, I wanted to be one. That was in my contract. I'm so excited. It's like I get to be a Jawa too, because again, my favorite character was Yoda, but I also loved Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I love the Jawas. I know they come off as total jerks, but they were hilarious. And originally, it was going to get to be the elder Jawa, but Rick's like, I'm not sure how that was going to work because we have scenes together. So I was really sad that I didn't get to do that because I was really excited for that. It's like I get to be such a jerk. I can't wait. So, but yeah, I love them. They're super sweet too. We hung out a lot. That little baby.
And here we see the baby utilizing the dark side.
Oh yeah.
He's protecting Mando.
Yeah.
Kara is my friend.
That is not okay. Curious.
Oh, Chris Bartlett is here.
Yay! Hi, Chris.
And he asks, is there anything you learned by playing Amy and Congo that you carried over to your career to Quill?
Yes.
When you work for the Empire?
When I was so
The hydration thing. Potassium, knowing when to eat and to not eat, and to when to hydrate, and obviously maintain that balance, because in these types of intense costumes, you sweat a ton, and so there's this really, there's a balance game that you play with your hydration. The medics on set were always really cool. They were always right there near me, and especially when I come out of the head and stuff after long scenes and long, great amount of time in the costume and stuff, they would give me hydration tablets. So, and I would always take them and eat a half a banana and have some water and then get ready to go back in. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I learned from the people that have done this type of really intense suit work on there. Is your body, you need to really, really, really take care of it and train and practice yoga if you're gonna maintain a longevity doing this type of work, because it is it's intense on your physical body day in and day out.
How long have you been a yoga instructor?
I found yoga because of my puppeteer on the Country Bears movie, Alice Dinian. And that was in 2001 in July. And after my first, practice, I was like, this is awesome. And I literally never stopped from that point. And then I became a teacher, a Bikram yoga teacher in 2006. And I've been practicing and teaching that at
You got a real
so.
thing for droids.
And that's where my I have spoken Zen comes from.
We got a question from John. What was it like to see the content of the egg being opened and being devoured by the Jawas?
Hi, John. I was laughing because I know the people and my friends in there. It was equal parts awful. It's just like, oh my God. And knowing what it was, I was actually a little sad too. But they did a great job with that, because that was equal parts awesome and awful at the same time.
Did you have a sense when you were filming how big this show was going to be? Did you have that sense during filming, or was it after it launched that? Because this surpassed, was it Stranger Things as the biggest show streamed? So did you get a sense that it was going to be big?
I knew it was special. Like I said, from reading the scripts, I could not put them down. I got all of my scripts, and it's like, whoa, this is really cool. I loved the writing, and it was just such an extraordinary adventure, and I was so excited to see what these characters looked like and what they did. And so I knew that it was something really, really special. but you just never know. And I did I think about a week before the premiere, I had a total panic attack. I was like, please don't hate Quill. Please don't hate Quill. It's like, but you know, at the end of the day, all you can do is pour every bit of your soul and love and energy into a character, and people, you know, will either identify with it or they won't. So, you know, that's all you can do. So
And I think it's safe to say that people have identified with Quill.
yeah.
You're saying that.
Did you think that the child was going to be as big as it was when you first saw it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at him. He's just so cute. And that face, and you know, everybody, the legacy of Yoda and his goodness. Yeah, I mean, I love that baby. Like I said, I mean, we were doing the chase scene. My team and Baby Yoda's team, like they would always let me know. It's like, this is the hero, baby K. This is hero, baby. Don't drop him. It's like, got him. So, and then I also like shifted slightly to the right of my blurg, you know, just in case I started falling, like I would fall away from him, so, and not on him. They're like, we didn't know you did that. It's like, I got you. So.
I'm sure nobody wanted to be the one that broke the hero, baby.
What? Hero baby was a very important baby. So.
What was it like working with such a cinematic legend like Carl Weathers?
Oh man, he was cool. He was nice and super protective of me. He kept checking in. He's like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? I was like, I'm good. He's just, I mean, I just enjoyed listening to him speak. You know, especially that one scene when they meet up again. He has such a powerful presence and voice that it's just like mesmerized. It's like, it's like, oh wait, I'm in the show. I'm not supposed to be watching the show. Yeah, he's cool, and I'm still trying to get my flexor muscles picture with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We were supposed
Is there
to
any?
do it.
I'm sorry, you're saying?
We were supposed to do it, but I didn't wear something that I wanted to. Like I had sleeves on because at the premiere it was really cold, and he had sleeves. It's like, we'll have to just do it another time.
That's awesome. Was there any funny memories from any of the outs that we may never see that you're allowed to talk about?
Like outtakes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in this episode, when Cara Dune and Mando come back into my little teeny itty bitty awesome hut, I was sitting on this very narrow wooden stool. Like I swear it was only like this wide, and so I kind of positioned myself because my backpack is really heavy, and if I tipped back, like there's no way. And sure enough, you know, they raised their blasters, and I did this, and I just went, dink, dink.
Oh, no.
It was just like, neat. Oh my God. And of course, like, Amanda's like grabs me and brings me back up, and Gina, she couldn't stop laughing. So, and I couldn't stop laughing. So I'm
That's
going,
great.
they don't have an outtake tape, but that totally would have been it.
That's awesome.
It was pretty funny.
One of the things I love about the marketing of this episode in particular is how they had it come out the night before the Rise of Skywalker premiere. So you would see the healing power of the child before you see Rey doing it.
Yeah.
So it all felt like it was, they did a really good job lining that up. And it was, you don't see that much often on,
No.
you know,
It was really special. I love that baby.
God, The poison's spreading fast.
I will have to say that being a Star Wars fan for 40 plus years, I don't think I have as many figures or statues of any character that I have of a child. It's kind of, it's too cute for words.
Oh, he's so cute. It was so funny when he was like trying to heal Mando. I think it's episode 2, and he kept like putting him back in the carrier,
It's time for the magic fingers.
back in his pram.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's so cute. He loves his hands.
One of my favorite lines is still do the magic wave thing, and the baby just going.
It was hilarious. I love that episode. Oh my goodness, I was crying and laughing and cheering at the TV by myself. So it was a good moment. Because we, obviously, you knew nothing about the other episodes. You only knew about yours and what was going on in yours. So it was really fun to watch episode 8 literally as a fan. Just like, what's going to happen? I can't wait, because I had no idea. So it was exciting.
Since you're such a fan of the child, how did you feel when you saw Adam Pally punching the baby?
I just knew IG-11 was coming. It was like, karma is coming for you. That's all I have to say about that.
He got so much heat when they announced that he was actually the one. I saw him on several. I think I saw him on something my wife was watching for Vanderpump Rules. He was actually one of the interviewers, and all they wanted to talk to about with him was, how could you punch the child? And he was just like, I did what I had to do. I do it again.
Not okay.
Well, you can gun me down here and now, and it wouldn't violate the code. But if you do this, child will never be safe.
We'll take our chances.
The Imperial
That face. I miss him.
You tried to run, but where did it get? Perhaps you should let him speak. Listen, we both need the client to be eliminated. Let me take the child to him, and then you two know.
Let's just kill him and get out of here.
He's right.
How would you describe the contraption you were on that turned into the blurb?
It was a bull riding thing, and then Legacy, they created the shell of a blurg, and luckily for me, the saddle thing that I sat in on it, it was just high enough so I would put my backpack up on it, and it would just give me a little bit of a break from
That's
the
awesome.
weight of that. So I was the happy camper on there, except for when I was having to ride it super, 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 super fast. That was hard, and it was just, everything's like dong, dong, dong. So it was pretty crazy.
Cover your stripes. Let's go.
So I was also wanting to let our fans know that if you were interested in getting an autograph from Misty, to visit our good friends over at Topps at StarWarsAuthentics.com, and they will hook you up over there. But of course, I know that a lot of us are looking forward to the days where we can actually have you at our Comic-Cons. I know Frank and I are in the New England area, and looking forward to the rescheduling of Rhode Island so we'd be able to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I will always do everything in my power to come to those and see everybody and meet everybody and say hi. So if I'm working, we'll try to work it out.
Chain code? I have a gift for the boss. Chain code. any credits for the helmet. Not a chance. That's going on my wall. Go with it. Go ahead.
There are many lines throughout the whole lore of Star Wars that have transcended the actual saga in itself, such as, like May the Force. Did you have any idea that I Have Spoken would be considered one of those?
No. I just knew that I needed to play that in a way, like, to get it really right, which is, because it doesn't come from a disrespectful place at all. Like, I think, like, he's so wise too and has a lot of Yoda qualities where it's like, say what you mean and that's the end of it. Don't add. So, but it is funny because I hear a lot from a lot of moms that because their kids love the show and love Quill so much, they use that line on them and they're like, fine. Then it gets cute. So
Great.
they can't say anything to that.
What exquisite craftsmanship. It's amazing.
Did you have any interactions with Werner?
Been forged by
No,
artisans
the only time I saw him was at our screen
to
test,
celebrate
and I got to watch him be amazing and just walk onto that space and just command it. And I was just, there was Chris. He told me about his, he wasn't supposed to fall in his suit, and the way it's made and stuff, like, you don't want to fall. But he's a trooper and he handled it. It's like, yeah, no, falling in suits is not pleasant.
He had alluded last week that that was one of his lifelong ambitions, was to be a stunt droid.
Yeah, well, he was, whether he knew it or not. It's right up in the scene. He showed it to me. I don't know if I made the final cut, but like one of the other stormtroopers knocked him over, and he just like, the pad was way somewhere else, and he was like, fell way before the pad.
He just commented, ha ha ha, whoops.
we all will be quiet. Open the pram.
Once again, thank you for joining us again, Chris, and thank you for adding some commentary into the chat. This is awesome having both of you around.
Thanks for hanging, Chris.
Give me the blaster. You get one shot.
This is bad. You said 4.
Come on. What can I tell you? Yes, Moff Gideon.
Have they brought the child?
Yes, I have. Currently, it is sleeping.
2 powerhouse actors right there.
And we were just joined by Dominic Pace in the chat as well. So hey, Dom.
Yeah. Oh, there's Chris.
See, that's the real fault.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, you face first. Oh,
How's your
right.
head?
He was right. He's still up. Like twice. That's funny.
Those are so cool.
Love the Death Troopers. It was nice to see them back from Rogue One.
And I heard that that was extremely cool too. In the 501st, I thought that was really cool that they did that.
Plus, also the fact that they brought the Trooper carrier, which was initially a Kenner toy, that was never shown in any part of any segment that John called as one of the deep cuts that he wanted to bring into the show. That's pretty awesome.
Yes. Back to the ship yet? Not yet. Back to the ship and bail.
This is from Chris to you, Misty. You're such an inspiration and genuine human being, and you're the main reason that Quill came through as such a revered character.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
And Dom sends his love to you.
Hi. I look forward to meeting you. Everyone's like, do you know Dominic? Do you know Dominic? It's like, not yet.
Were you a fan of the cartoons? Did you watch any of them prior to this?
No. No, I'm like hardcore movie fan.
Okay.
All of the movies. And then, of course, when I got hired, I was rewatching everything.
Yeah.
And then for inspiration for the top signing, I watched all of the original trilogy film signing. You know, it's like, Star Wars! Star Wars!
I had so much anxiety at this point when they're chasing you down. I couldn't take it.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome.
A friend of mine sent a lot of the podcasters that were doing, you know, watching the shows and, you know, doing their podcast during them. And it's a compilation of all of the podcasters' reaction to that scene. It's like, don't show me that, because it made me cry. Because people are really upset and people are crying. Why did you send me this? So.
Will, are you back to the ship yet? They're on to us. Will, come in. In a few moments, it will be mine.
I can't.
So there's the hero, baby.
Yeah, hero baby.
Every time you watch, you think maybe this time he'll get away.
I know, they're like, go, 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 he's there.
So close.
There's IG-11.
Right there. Come in, Will, come in.
Oh,
Aww.
breaks my heart.
Stormtroopers are not supposed to hit their targets.
I know. And people are like, the one time they, you know, hit something. So, because I guess that's a running joke that they never hit anything.
Yeah, and they also did that a joke about that in episode 8 from Mando as well. What a heartbreaking ending for this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Out of
People
all Star
were
Wars,
so
this is the hardest
upset.
deaths.
So like, how could you do that? And then everybody's used to binge watching everything now, and no, you know, it's been a while since people had to wait like a whole week or something, and that week is like torture because they want to know now what happened.
That's one of the things I actually loved about Mandalorian is it was breaking the streaming cycle, which society had gotten used to, say with Stranger Things or any other show. And this was like going back to watching shows like when we were kids that were week to week, and you're see with anticipation, but also the fact that it was Star Wars and waiting for that, it was even harder.
It builds
Yeah.
excitement, I think. And
It
you
was
got to
really
talk about it
fun.
all week. Yeah. I
Oh
love it.
yeah, because I mean, and even at this point, still a lot of people did not know, except for really close friends, that I had done that role. But especially on, you know, just on all the social media, you know, all of the people kind of coming together and, you know, making comments. It's like, I can't wait for episode 8, and they're like, does IG-11 come get you? It's like, I can't say anything, and you have to watch it.
Oh, that's a terrible week for you.
No. Yeah, that was, I was excited to see episode 7. Because during shooting too, I never really, unless and they never asked me to come back to Video Village to watch anything. So I never watched playback because I just didn't want to get in my head, and just wanted to trust my work and trust my puppeteers that is everything looking good. And they're like, I wish you would watch it. And it's like, I'm just going to wait and watch it with everybody, at the premiere. So the premiere was the first time, and it was, I was, like I said, sweating and profusely. And it was like, I hope people don't hate him. I hope they don't hate him. And, it was really fun to be in that theater, that packed theater with Star Wars fans, and getting the laughs and stuff, and just enjoying being a fan too, and watching this. And again, seeing Star Wars come up on the big giant screen. It's just like, ooh, it was a lot.
Could you believe that was you when you saw it during the premiere?
I mean, I'm a typical artist, and Martha Graham talks about a lot. It's like, we're never satisfied. It's like, oh, I should have done this, or I could have done that better. Just critiquing. It's like, settle down and just watch. And, I mean, once I watched it a few times, it's just watching it for a fan, then I enjoyed it. So, yeah. But being
Awesome.
an artist, again, it's like, you're always going to critique your work and, try to find ways to do it better. It's like, come on, settle down. Just in the moment, you brought what you brought. So it's always going to be like that.
So with basically Quill dying in this episode, what do you hope, as the actor that portrayed the character, the lasting legacy that Quill has?
The legacy that Quill has, he taught people and showed people the power and the beauty of selflessness, that to be willing to understand and sacrifice yourself for the greater good of the whole, of others, of the innocent, of the child. And that's why I had a lot of tears, but it's like, he's part of the Force now. And it's just like in Star Wars, where it's the dark and the light, he's part of that light, he's part of that Force, he's part of that energy that he gave Mando, to really want to make it worth it to take care of the child and to get him to safety. And Mando lost, a really good friend, probably one of his first friends, that was authentic and wasn't wanting something from him at all. Just, it was really a beautiful relationship between Quill and Mando. So I think that's what it is to remind people to be selfless. There's a beautiful gift in that. So, yeah.
Well, I can't think of anything better than that to close on. I want to, thank you from the bottom of the hearts of the entire Star Wars universe for not only sharing your gift with us, but also being accessible to the fans to talk about Star Wars. We grow up in an age right now where we can communicate, and we kind of feel like we're part of it and living vicariously through, actors like yourself and Chris and Dominic, who have joined us, and Kevin Thompson, who was one of the Ewoks. And just thank you very much for being there for the fans and giving us so much joy. And I have to say, I know for at least Frank and I, it gave us, the show in itself gave us so much more hope for the future of Star Wars, that we saw one chapter closing, but The Mandalorian brought it to a whole other level of fandom. So thank you very much for revitalizing it for all of us.
Yeah, I was just a little part of it. And yeah, I mean, obviously, like, John and Dave at the helm of it all. Get ready for season 2. It's gonna, it'll be awesome. So, because they're just, they're brilliant at what they do, and they have a lot of heart. I mean, they're there with us, you know, at the beginning of the, you know, shoot day all the way to the end. And it's just, you can tell, you know, being on set and stuff, everybody had so much love and pride for their work, every single person in every single department. So, you know, because again, it's Star Wars, and the fans, you know, that you guys deserve this, and to get to be a part of it, to get to bring something to life. It was just such a tremendous honor and a privilege, and something I'll never forget. So, you know, lots of tears too. So, on that fateful shoot day.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight, Misty. It was an absolute pleasure and honor to have you come on and tell stories with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's nice to meet you all, Spencer and Frank and Jonathan. And yeah, you know, hopefully we'll get to all hang out again real soon. And until then, please, please, please take care and stay safe and stay healthy. So yeah, just exercise. One thing I would want to share with everybody, which my roommate and I do, we choose like one upbeat song a day. And for that one song, whatever it is, like just jumping, wild, abandoned, like we face windows and we just shout out like love and encouragement and positivity and kindness to everybody. So just to help what we like to call raising and elevating the positive vibe. So, because I feel like people need that right now. So, you know, lots of love to all of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Music that you said that do you have like a website or anything for your music you were talking about? Is there anything you want to share before
Sure. Oh yeah, my music is everywhere. It's on Amazon. You can go to Amazon Music and all of my songs are there. I have a 10-song album and then one single called Paper House. But you can also find all of those on YouTube. And then they're very much condensed, you know, at my website, which is just my name, mistyrosas.com. So yeah.
Awesome. We'll definitely going to plug that, and also plug your great autographs with our friends over at Star Wars Authentics.
Yeah, I would love to bring people any type of joy. So right now. So.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Misty. We appreciate it.
So welcome. Thank you for having me. It was really fun, guys.
Thank you, Misty.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye now.